Hello to you, my cosmic dragon friends. We have a very special energy update because we have a mini moon for 2 months. Now, you might have heard there is a little asteroid that's decided to join us for the next 2 months. It joined us yesterday, September 29th, 2024, as I'm filming this. Now, this reading is intended as timeless, so if you're finding it later, don't worry, that doesn't mean this reading isn't for you. But for those of you who are watching shortly after this has been uploaded, this is going to be an interesting one about the next couple of months. So this little asteroid comes to us from the Arjuna asteroid belt that is normally orbiting the sun, but it's decided to orbit us for a couple of months. So let's have a look and see what wisdom it's bringing us. So that's what I wanted to do in this reading. As soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh, I have to do a reading. I have to do an energy update and find out more about that. And as I went more into the energy, it got more and more interesting. So this asteroid is called PT5, which is not a very sexy name, I have to say, but scientists and all that. So, of course, I had to do the numerology. I haven't done the numerology of the dates yet. Maybe I'll go deeper in that on another video. If you would like me to, please leave me a message below if you'd like me to do that. So I looked at Arjuna, which is the asteroid belt it comes from, and I looked at PT5 to get some numbers here. So with Arjuna, with the numerology here, we've got 131 at the top, which is very interesting because there's some beautiful symmetry at the top here. So I get a whole sense that this is about balance. This little asteroid has come to do a full circuit of the Earth. It's doing a full orbit, and I think it's going to take it 2 months to do this orbit because it's only a dinky little asteroid, nowhere near as big as our moon, which is far too big for our planet. That's a whole other conversation for another day. But the numbers along the top here, so these are where we put the vowels in numerology, in the type of numerology I do. I'm a Pythagorean esoteric numerologer, that's a mouthful, and we put the consonants along the bottom. So, and I use numbers 1 to 9. So 131, beautiful symmetry. It's almost like a little seesaw at the top here. I think Americans call that a teeter-totter. Don't know if I said that right. Please don't come at me. So, and US is for urge of soul, not United States, for the record. It's the urge of soul is the number we get from the vowels that comes at the top. So 1, 3 and 1 makes 5. So we have the number of the mind, which is very interesting. So there's an intellectual element coming through, but it's a spiritual intellect. So it feels to me like this little asteroid's bringing us knowledge and wisdom, but the sun's wisdom, which is why I wanted to go into a dragon reading this one. So I've got my dragon cards out. I've got my, what's this deck called? I can't remember. This is, where have I put the box? This is the Star Dragons. I knew that. I was wanting to say Celestial Dragons for some reason. Same difference. This is the Star Dragons Oracle here. Then I have my new Dragon Tarot that I picked up in Magical Cornwall last year. Last year? Oh, that's weird. That was last week. Oh, that's interesting. There's some big shift happening because I got this last week, but the words last year jumped out of my mouth. And as we know, there's no accidents when we're reading. You know, my guides will put words in my mouth that need to be there. So it feels like there's a connection to last year, or maybe cosmically we're advancing as if it's a new year. Isn't that interesting? Okay. So to be fair, this asteroid, I mean, it arrived yesterday, which is the 29th of September, and it's with us until the 25th of November. So it does actually stay with us for the 2 months around Halloween, which is actually the end of the pagan year. So perhaps there is a connection there to New Year's, so that's interesting. But with 131 across the top here, so 3 is the number of the divine blueprint, our map for life, and 1 is the individual, is the new energy striking forth, it's the person. So it feels actually like different factions having the potential to come into balance. So different aspects of you, or different political views, different, you know, I think this is going to be seen on the macro level as well as on the individual level. So different aspects of self coming into balance with each other through wisdom of thought. So there's some great wisdom of thought coming. I think we're going to hear some very interesting things from great thinkers of our time during this period. And then 915. So 9, the end of the cycle, the hermit energy is the wise lamp that guides us forward. Also the individual down here, and the 5 of the mind again is represented down here on the more concrete level. So The personality number that we get from the bottom, the very earthly energy, is 15. So 15, interesting energy, 15-6. I didn't actually write it as 15-6 for some reason, which is curious because it's like I left out the heart, 6 being the number of the heart, the sacred chalice. And that's curious. So I think there could be a message here not to forget the heart, okay? Not only to be led by the mind, because 15 is the mind leading the individual, okay? We mustn't forget the heart. That is important. Yes, there is great wisdom to be gleaned during this time. We can do great things. We can bring things back into balance, but we must remember to have compassion and sympathy and kindness, genuine kindness for others, not performative kindness as it suits. And when we bring those numbers together, 5 and 15, brings us 20 and 2. I also want to bring in the number that reduces to. Let's have a look at that one as well. So we're going to bring the heart in, we're going to reduce that to 6. So 5 and 6 would give us 11. So there's actually a hidden 11 in the middle here. So it's actually 2011 2. 11 being the number of higher wisdom. It's an angelic number with the double ones. It's the pillars of the temple, very sacred. And I think it would be easy to miss the sacredness of this time and put too much down to logic and to mind when that's actually not what's going on. But I think there will be improvements, improvements politically, improvements socially during this time. There's a huge potential for that to happen, for those who are willing to be sensible, to be logical, and to use their mind and their higher mind, but also their compassion for the common good. And that's very important at the moment. So with 20, again, it's an emotional time. We have got a little bit of a seesaw going on here because we've got 2 2s with an 11 in the middle. And of course the 0 does count. Sometimes I just take it out for a second, but we have to bring it back in again because of course it brings us huge unlimited potential for understanding our differences, for calming emotions, I think, on the national, international, social, I get the word cosmic as well. So this could be about tensions within the galaxy, tensions within alien races that I know nothing about, or very little. Tensions between planets, tensions that could be astrologically speaking. But it's bringing balance to emotions and wisdom to understand why the emotions ran so high. So this feels like a very poignant moment within the 20s, within the 2020s that we're in at the moment. It's a very poignant moment within this decade. I think there's a lot of wisdom to be gleaned. A lot of interesting messages and lessons are going to come out of this 2-month period. A lot of interesting works of art, works of literature, I think, maybe either begun or completed or created during this time, even if we don't necessarily see them until later on. It's a fascinating time of the mind at the moment, so there could be some technological advances or scientific discoveries during this time, but again, there is the warning here not to forget the heart, not to forget the wisdom and compassion. Wisdom and compassion ultimately are the most important, and not just about mind creation and scientific advancement or technological advancement for the sake of it, okay, because without heart we might as well be robots. And I tripped over my word there because there is some technology that is sentient that does, I suppose, have heart. And I'm talking about higher dimensional technology here, not necessarily so much the technology within our realm. And I'm not going to go off down that rabbit hole. However, so PT5 is the name of the little asteroid, our mini moon, who's come to join us. Very cute. So we have number 7 and number 2 for P and T, and then 5 for PT5. So with the 7 and the 7 over here, which is what it adds up to, because 7, 5 and 2 adds up to 14. 14 reduces to 5, so there's that mind again. There's that human mind, potentially the ego mind. It is logic, it is that we want to think about things and consider things in a different way. But this time it comes from 14, which brings us an energy of balance and grounding of the individual. So it makes us realistic, but in a nice way, not in a excessively grounded way necessarily, because we have the mystical 7 over here, the emotional 2 of our choices and options. And then from there, we add, I added together 14 and 20, and we get 34, 7. There are other numbers that I could extract from that, which I haven't for the sake of speed in this reading. Otherwise, I'll be going on about the numerology for a whole long time, and we could do a whole other video on that if you want. So let me know if you want me to do that, or if you want me to start another numerology channel. Tell me that. Cosmic Dragon Numerology. How does that sound? Okay, good, bad, indifferent? So the overall energy we get from Arjuna and PT5 is 34-7. Interesting numbers. I like 34-7. Okay, so 34-7 is bringing things into reality, bringing them into the concrete world from the blueprint. It's the physical world guiding the blueprint. So it's letting us know what we can actually do at this time, and it brings us into mysticism. It brings us into spirituality. So it's fascinating. It's about manifesting. It's about realizing that we can make our dreams happen, that we can actually create and build and choose different choices. It's a time of spiritual advancement as well. I think it's going to be a time, a good time for spiritual study, for meditation, and also for getting in touch with our psychic abilities, our spiritual abilities, our healing abilities. And I can feel the Reiki just revving up in my hands as I said that. So I'm a Reiki master, as a lot of us are. Master doesn't really mean anything other than we've done all the 3 levels of attunements. It's not big or clever. It's just a thing. It's just a name. So what did I want to do an Australian accent then? Oh, that was weird. Okay, so connection to Australia coming through. There could be some big things happening in Australia. And as I said that, I saw 11:11 on the clock, and we've got an 11 here. So big stuff going down for my Aussie watchers. Big things happening. So let's pull some cards. I'm going to start with the star dragons, the celestial dragons as I now wish to call them. So let's take a look, see what energy is coming through with our mini moon's visit for the next couple of months. What do we need to know? The cards throwing themselves out already. Pick them up off my lap, check that there's no nudity on the cards, and here we go. I'm always a little bit careful because there's always the odd card where there's something that could be construed by the YouTube AI as something that I shouldn't be showing on camera, so I'm a bit careful with my cards now. So if they come from off camera, it's not because I pre-prepared them, it's because I'm trying to be careful and not get a YouTube strike. So 19, independence, carving your own path. Yes, that makes a heck of a lot of sense. 1910-1, new beginnings, the individual, leading from wisdom, leading from knowledge, from experience, from been there, done that. Interesting. 25, trust, love and friendship. Yes. So 25-7, so there's that number 7 again, the number of the mystic coming through quite strongly. There is this mysticism, there is a connection also to dragon guides at this time. I do feel the asteroid itself is connected to dragon wisdom coming through from the sun, so there would be fire dragons coming through from the sun. This asteroid has definitely broken off to visit us for a reason. It is bringing us knowledge, wisdom, higher guidance. So I would encourage you to maybe meditate and tune into it at this time, because I think that could be a really exciting thing to do. See what messages it has for you. Really beautiful energy. See this gorgeous little baby dragon, dragonlet, on its corner. Is dragonlet a word? It is now. Looks almost like a bat, like a little albino bat of some sort. So there could be a connection to bats if you're watching. It sort of has its little tail curled around her third eye chakra there, like it's sharing wisdom with her, sharing visions with her in this very gentle, beautiful way, and it's showing her the way, showing her higher levels of wisdom. It's teaching her spiritual lessons. Gorgeous. And this dragon here, wow, look at that lava river below. And again, there's a man riding the dragon. It's as if the dragon is showing him the lava river, teaching him what to do, teaching him how to do things, because the man is naked. He's in the nakedness of innocence. He may be riding the dragon, but he's not controlling the dragon. The dragon is gently guiding him, carrying him, I feel here. So it is the wisdom of the ages, the wisdom of the dragons coming through to us to actually guide us during this time, to teach us to love and to teach us to trust in love and kindness as well. To know that not everything has to be, I was going to say logical, but that's not exactly the word, but it kind of is. It's not just about logic during this time, it's about the logic of the heart, about the logic of other senses, not just the ego mind that always wants to jump in and control. It's the logic of the higher mind, the logic of God, the logic of soul. Very, very beautiful, spiritual, energies coming through. It's going to be a fantastic time, I think, for spiritual learning, for lessons, for study. So, okay, let's bring out our Dragon Tarot cards. This is my new Dragon Tarot deck. This is an Anne Stokes deck, if you recognise the imagery. It's adorable. Look at that. Gorgeous. I really like this deck. It's very cute. So I've been playing with this a lot when I was in Cornwall. When I was, you might have seen the mini reading I did from sat on the bench, swinging my legs in Tintagel. So that was quite fun. All right, it was a bit windy that day, so I apologise for the sound. Okay, so what lessons do we have to learn? Hermit energy, 9, wisdom. Wisdom at the end of the age. Oh, wisdom at the end of the age. There's the words. The Star, the 4 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Swords. Do you know what? I like this. This is interesting because what this is saying to me here, and do feel free, if you get your own messages, your own meaning from these cards, you take it if it's individual to you, because obviously we are all individuals. And if you see something, go, oh, I know what that means for me, you absolutely take that message for yourself, okay? I will say the general messages that I see as I see them, but you're welcome to take your own messages too. So always remember that when you're watching a reading on YouTube, you might get your own individual message all by yourself. So, the Hermit, yes. We are grounded in our intuition. We're grounded in our wisdom here as the dragons bringing their knowledge through to me. I feel them starting to want to channel through me, so if my voice goes a bit strange, bear with me. It's going a bit deep right now because they want to bring the messages through. So the Star, beautiful. And look at this beautiful egg that the Star is holding, this egg of potential, this cosmic dragon egg. Absolutely gorgeous, with the dragon helping her to hold it, teaching her how to birth this new potential on Earth. And it feels to me like we're moving into a new era. It's almost like marking the new era, this mini moon coming in here for us. It's marking a new era where we have the opportunity to let go of clinging to money, is what I want to say, with the 4 of Pentacles, which can be that kind of defensive, clinging, grasping energy. We can finally let go of clinging to things that no longer matter, that no longer serve. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have money, because we actually need it right now at this point in time. Unfortunately, it's a thing that has to be used. It's an exchange of energy. It's something we need. But it feels almost like collectively we'll be loosening the grip on clinging to it out of fear, clinging to it because we think it's all we're ever going to get. And it feels like a big shift almost for the whole of humanity, okay, to be letting go of this need to grasp, this need for greed. I'm saying that's kind of been taught to us since a very early age. We get very mixed messages about you're not allowed to be greedy, but you need to earn lots of money. You know, you need to earn lots of money or you're a failure, but you shouldn't have too much money because then you're greedy. There's these very confusing messages about money, about greed, about what that genuinely truly is. And it can make people feel very grasping when it comes to money, very kind of desperate when it comes to money. A lot of people have a lot of fears around not having money, which is completely understandable, and there's no criticism about that. But it's how we're set up in this society to crave money, but also loathe it, but also love it, but also want it, but also feel like we shouldn't have it. And there's all these difficult emotions, and it's part of the control grid that was set up, you know, to control human beings, to keep us in this semblance of servitude that we're currently in this society, in many societies around the world, and different versions, different iterations of it in different countries, different cultures, but we're all essentially owned by money, shall we say, with very few exceptions, apart from like a few tribes here and there. I want to bring in this stone here at this point. I went to get this off my altar. This is usually in the other room. You've probably seen, well, you might have seen Bedford sat on my altar, which is in my bedroom, which he likes to sit on there. Thankfully, he doesn't bat this around, because this doesn't actually have a flat bottom like my like these ones do, like my paperweights do. This is a stone in resin, and it's an actual sphere. So if it's not on a stand, which it isn't because I don't have a stand for it, note to self, get stands, it would roll around. It's a ball of resin, clear resin, and inside it has this gorgeous blue tiger's eye. I don't know how well you can see the blue tiger's eye stone here. It's gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the reflections. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. And I just felt very strongly that this was representative of our mini moon. I wanted to bring in the energy of blue tiger's eye here, which when I first encountered blue and red tiger's eye, I was told it was called dragon's eye. Isn't that interesting? So I wanted to bring in the blue dragon's eye, as we shall call it now. Whether that's a real thing or not, I don't know, but that's what we're calling it today. So there's this powerful energy bringing us courage, bringing us fortitude, bringing us wisdom as well, opening up whole swathes of new emotional possibilities for us. And I think this is going to be very important for social cohesion moving forwards, to allow people to put their differences to one side, and to move forwards in a more logical way, but also without forgetting the heart. That's so important. So 6 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. So this isn't the easiest energy for sure. And there are some people who'll be actively fighting against this energy for sure. But for me, it is about, with the 6 of Pentacles, which is equal give and take. Again, it's about bringing things into balance. And that's what I said at the beginning with this 14-5, bringing things into balance and doing it because we're understanding about manifesting and how things can come into reality. But we're understanding it through a spiritual lens, through a mystical lens. So I feel for many people going deeper into their spirituality, into their religious beliefs, into their religious or spiritual practice at this time. It could also be a time of, oh goodness, that's not what we want to hear. It could be a time of spiritual war, religious war in certain parts of the world. Unfortunately, religious persecution is a theme that comes up. It's a very dark theme, but it is a theme. So that could be seen in some places. That's probably the darkest incarnation we're going to see of it. The lightest incarnation is the opposite. Of course, people coming together, standing together. And with the number 6, it brings in heart energy as well, because 6 is the number of the heart, as I said. It brings in the opportunity. So we've got a 5 and a 6 here. So isn't that fun? Mind and heart sat here together. Yes. The heart is absolutely instrumental here, and by that I mean it's our human heart, our compassion, and our kindness. So, what other lessons are there for us during this time, please? What do we need to know? 7 of Cups. Oh, yes. Choices. Confusion, choices. Queen of Swords. The World. 2 of Cups. Yes, it's almost like the whole world has this opportunity to have a new beginning now, to bring opposing forces, opposing factions into balance. It's almost like the dark and the light want to be friends. And I'm not saying that the dark is the bad necessarily and the light is the good, because it's not that clear cut. We do live in a realm of duality, however, so we do see, it's funny, as I said, a realm of duality. The clock went 2222. Yeah. 2 being the number of duality, of course. That's why I'm laughing, because numerologically that was perfect. So 2, the number of duality here. And with Cups, it is about emotion. It is about relationship. It's about bringing opposing factions together. So it might be people with opposing political views, opposing religious views, opposing worldviews of whatever type, finally finding common ground for the world to advance at this time, but seeing with clarity, understanding from our experience with the Queen of Swords, understanding from our knowledge, wisdom, experience that we've gained throughout our lifetimes, and realising that different choices are available and that we don't have to continue down this dark alley that humanity has been going down for a while, because we are in the time of the Great Awakening right now. Of course, as we know, it's not the moment for us to stay in darkness. The dark and light must actually unite. It's not a case of the light defeating the dark so much as them coming together and understanding that they're 2 sides of the same coin, that one can't exist without the other in this realm of duality. It's so important that we understand that. That we can bring it together, because if we hate another person, we can't be whole within ourselves. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that too deep at this moment, because I don't want this really to get so long. But yes, and this is why a lot of people have been drawn to do shadow work at this time. And what I mean by shadow is delving into the depths of the psyche, healing hurts within us. That's what I mean by integrating the darkness within us, understanding our anger, understanding righteous anger perhaps, or understanding darker thoughts, darker feelings that we have, things that maybe we've repressed, that we're not proud of, that we feel ashamed of, embarrassed of, or perhaps feelings, thoughts, impulses, urges that society tells us is wrong. But so we've repressed them, you know, like anger, that a lot of women repress anger, for example. That's a very, very common one, because we're told that it's not ladylike to be angry. It's not nice. We have to be nice and kind all the time. And being quote unquote nice can make you repress so much. Very, very harmful. Like men not being allowed to cry, for example, repressing genuine sadness, emotion, very, very harmful to the divine masculine, to the males out there, to the men out there. So I'm going to pop these cards away, and we are going to get some interesting cards. I've picked some brilliant decks for you today, I have to say. Okay, my guides picked them. All right, guys, I won't take credit. So we have the herbal astrology cards here. We're just going to see what messages. I'm going to shuffle them off camera again, because some of them have less clothes on than others, and I may need to censor some of these as I put them out, so bear with me. Let's see what we've got here. So that one's okay. Damiana, the beloved. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I have a lot to say about that. Okay. Oops, that's a naked lady. Let's get a shell for her. Let's get a shell for the nice naked lady. There we go. There we go. Mitragynea, shape-shifting. Don't come at me, I don't know how to say that. And lemon balm. Nurture. So there's this real Mother Mary energy coming through there. Beautiful, look at that. Now I want to talk about Damiana, the beloved, and again it's on number 11, 11-2, which we had in our numerology a second ago. So 11 is all about wisdom, and it's about polarity and understanding that our differences and how they make us beautiful and how we can come together even if we are different. Very angelic energy from this card. And with this card we have the energy of Venus and Pluto. And for me, this is speaking of the story of Hades and Persephone. So Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, who was the goddess of the harvest, I believe, in the summer. Her daughter was stolen away by Hades, god of the underworld, god of the dead, who was obviously in love with her, wanted to marry her, and basically tricked her into staying with him. But she struck a deal where she would only have to stay with him half of the year. So it is partly the story of why we have the seasons, and why it's sunny. We have spring, summer when Persephone is with her mother Demeter, and then it goes to autumn and winter when she's with Hades in the underworld, because her mother's very upset about that. So, but it's this beautiful coming together of opposing energies. So Hades, the underworld, the darkness, the shadow, and Persephone, this beautiful goddess of the spring, the daughter of Demeter, coming together, their energies coming together, but in love, because look, this cup is overflowing with this beautiful cosmic energy coming down here, and then the wisdom of the beautiful dark crow on this side as well, bringing in his shadow wisdom as well, but coming together with this kindness, this love. It's so beautiful. So she has 3 flowers here, and he, or I say he, you can't see their heads, who knows if they're intended as male or female, but that's just how I'm reading the energy. 5 stars down here. So he has 3 to match hers, but he has 2 extra ones as well. So yes, the blueprint on both sides matching, but he brings in the mind as well, whereas she is coming purely from divine intuition, I would say, with 3. She comes from divine intuition, divine knowing, whereas he comes more from the mind. So it's almost like a meeting of the Empress with the High Priest from the Major Arcana in the Tarot, if you know those cards. Very interesting energy. So it's the heart meeting. It's a beautiful marriage, actually, because we've got the green and the red of the heart and the root chakra, which are the 2 chakras that you might consider in a marriage. So love, and then the baser urges, the other stuff you do in the bedroom. So it's this gorgeous melding of energies here. So Mitragynea on 34. Look, 34, that's the number we had. That is 34-7, there it is, for Arjuna PT5. Gorgeous, 34-7, definitely very important numerology. You know what, I'm going to get my numerology book out to get us some extra, if I can find it. Where did I put it? Let me pause. Just to bring in a bit of extra energy here. So 34-7 as a temporary vibration. Oh, it's the 8 of Wands energy. It's haste messages, settlements, pursuits approaching completion, rewards in direct ratio to the efforts expended. Interesting. Stagnant conditions are stirred up, final settlements made. It's an active, hopeful period in which you rapidly advance towards your goals. You may receive communication of all kinds, and these messages propel you onward. Yes, your messages are dashed off in return. That's an interesting turn of phrase. Romances emphasise now. Messages of love fill the air. But isn't that interesting? Because this is what I was saying about there's almost like this cosmic marriage going on here between different aspects of self, between different aspects of society as well, which is a beautiful coming together in love and understanding. I'm just going to just casually put that there. Gorgeous. Wow. Beautiful. So we've got the energy of Saturn and the energy of Neptune here as well. So very dreamy, shape-shifting energy. Yeah, gorgeous. So astral travel, I would say, during this time. Very deep meditations. Maybe you're channeling at the moment. Maybe you're doing trance mediumship, if you know what that is. Maybe even going into deep trance where you bring through voices, but realistic voices, which is amazing if you've ever seen it done. It's very, very amazing, very powerful. I went to see Melanie Polly one time, who is an amazing deep trance medium. Do recommend her if you have the opportunity to go see her. She's wonderful. Wow, and the dragonfly, very, very mystical energy coming through here, very strongly on the 34-7. So, and then the lemon balm on 52-7. So it's another 7, but it comes through us. Comes through us. Oh, I wanted to say it comes to us through 52, but the words I got were it comes through us. Interesting. So 5 and 2. So the High Priest and the High Priestess in the major arcana of the tarot, but 2 energy leading the 5. So the intuition is guiding the mind. So the intuition guiding the mind. I love 52. It's such a gorgeous number. Bringing us to higher spiritual learning, higher spiritual knowledge, higher lessons and nurture as well. So there is lemon balm, or Melissa officinalis, is a herb that I grow in my garden. It is prolific. It just grows everywhere it wants to, and every year it self-seeds a little bit more, and I've got a bit more of it. And there's another bush in the corner, and you're like, where did that come from? The bees love it, of course. It does smell wonderful, and it keeps mosquitoes away, so it keeps bloodsuckers away. Things that would drain us, it keeps away. It keeps us safe. And I love how it has these beautiful bees around it as well. And again, we've got 3 bees. So we've got the bees representing the divine blueprint here. So that's absolutely gorgeous. And they work for their honey. It doesn't just magic up for them. Of course, the flowers appear for them, but it's up to them to go and get the honey. And it's almost like this is a representation of manifesting. Yes, the idea, the impetus will be there. You put it out to the universe will provide you with the tools, and then it's up to you to go out and get them and just finish the job. Action is generally required in order to make your manifestations come into reality. Beautiful. Gorgeous. And I can smell lemon balm as I'm looking at this card. So absolutely lovely. So we've got a Venusian energy and Jupiter energy coming through there. So that's really lovely. Okay. And with Venus and Pluto here, I want to say endings and beginnings in our love life, but taking us to higher spiritual heights. Taking us to higher spiritual heights. I'm going to put these away. Put my rose quartz and my shell over here. And then let's get some of these. Now these are very spiritual messages. Let's see what we've got here. This is the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle by Kyle Gray. Let's take a look here, see what lessons there are for us during this period. Okay. Thoth light codes, light initiation, great teacher awakening, divine magic. Well, yeah, kind of guessed that. Gaia gateway activation, learning experience, wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. Yep. And ancestral realm, karmic release, healing the lineage boundaries. Yes, yes, yes. And on the bottom, the divine matrix, interconnectedness, synchronicity, God incidences. There's no such thing as a coincidence. I love that. That's very cute. I'm going to leave that there like that. So yes, light codes coming through from the sun, from the sun's asteroid belt is being gifted to us. They're bringing light initiation. They are awakening teachers on earth during this time, awakening inner higher spiritual teachers that live within us, that we have that potential within us, giving us the ability to craft with divine magic on earth, but all for highest good, for our highest purpose. And I just had a sip of tea, if you notice my mug move on the camera. Gaia gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom transmission, yes. So it's allowing us to open up more to actually hear the wisdom of Earth as well, to hear the wisdom of our planet as she speaks to us. And to remember the wisdom that is already here, that we already had within ourselves, that we chose to repress, to ignore for various reasons, or that we were taught was not real, was not valid, that we should not listen to the voices within our intuition, that we should not listen to the voice of intuition, to the wisdom within us, that we should not listen to our spirit guides, that they were bad or evil, or religion said they were wrong, or that they were demons or devilish, which they are not. Of course, there are dark forces out there, but we are able to discern the difference. We are not children, we're not babies. We do know how to do this. We can trust that intuition. We can trust our guides. Ancestral realm, karmic release, yes. It feels like the earth is about to have a massive, massive karmic release. Okay, and it feels to me that this is happening because of all the trailblazers who've done their karmic work. And if you're watching this video, that will be you. So well done. Congratulations. I actually want to clap. I'm not going to, but I feel like I really want to clap. It's like the higher realms are just so ecstatic and so proud of you all, of us all, of having done this karmic releasing work, healing our ancestral lineage. Wow, it's a glorious energy. It's allowing us to reach a tipping point here where the earth is now able to release this huge burst of old karma, old negative karma that's been holding us back, holding her back, holding humanity back. It almost comes out like a geyser of flame here. Ooh, comes out as a burp in me as well, excuse me. For those of you who work in energy, you will know that any kind of emission from the body, like me burping, excuse me, is an energy shift within the body. So yeah, the divine matrix, the divine matriarch, I want to say as well. Look at this gorgeous circle, this gorgeous, huge, empty potential, filled with light, filled with potential, filled with life, filled with everything, but also nothing, because it is the zero. I love this, the flower of life inside of the zero energy. It's such a gorgeous representation of the infinite potential of the energy we're moving into now. Magical abilities will be heightened, psychic abilities will be heightened, coincidences will happen more frequently. Those of us connected to the higher frequencies may find our conditions improving, our situations improving, easier solutions being found to problems. It's not to say that problems won't happen, because they're always going to happen in this realm of duality. We live in this human reality. Nothing's perfect. Yes, we do experience annoying human things, but it's almost like spiritual solutions being found to our human problems. And I don't mean that as a cliche. I mean literally easier solutions being presented to you, like almost not get out of jail free cards, not quite like that, but when a problem does arise, it feels like the universe will send the solution so quickly and easily to you now. We're shifting into this very, very different energy where we have the opportunity to lift ourselves up and live in this higher fifth dimensional energy that I'm feeling coming through strongly with the light codes and with this color. To me, that's a very fifth dimensional color that I'm looking at, and that's just what I'm channeling. So that did not come from my mind, that came from a higher aspect of self. So please don't ask me to explain that, because I can't. Okay, so really gorgeous messages coming through. So let's do a very, very brief 3-card pick a card for everyone here. I'm going to get out a pack of cards, and you guys are going to pick a number between 1 and 3, so 1, 2 or 3, and we're going to see what your individual personal message is for the mini moon 2-month period. Okay, so as if by magic, I have cleared the other cards away, and we have 2 packs of cards here. I have the Law of Positivism, the Healing Oracle, and we also have these cards that I acquired last week, actually a couple of days ago, on Dartmoor. I was passing through Dartmoor, coming back from Cornwall, And these are actually playing cards, but they have all different animals, trees and plants on them and birds. And I thought that would be really, really fun to bring them in to get like a totem animal for you as well. So we are going to shuffle our cards and lay them out for our 3 piles for our messages here. Oh, we're going to get 2 of those, are we? Okay, so this is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3. Okay, and then let's get our little animal totem for each pile. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so take a moment. You'll notice the Dartmoor pony on the back of these cards. If you're wondering what that symbol is, it's the Dartmoor pony, the iconic Dartmoor pony, which is one of our many native British horse breeds. We have a lot of them, and they're mostly very dinky and very cute with serious attitude, a bit like us. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Let's dive on in. So pile 1, I'm going to have to look at the cards off camera in case there's any nudity. Not with these ones because they don't have any. So bird's foot trefoil. I like that. The little yellow bird's foot trefoil for you is your totem. Just checking these cards. No, there's no nudity. We're good. Okay, we're good to go. We have number 19 again, 19-10-1. So beginning of a new cycle for you. Strong hermit energy, strong energy of kind of wanting to disappear off into a time of contemplation for you, pile 1. I want to say it's almost like hermit time, like I want to send you off to a retreat. Yeah, retreat time. Lots of meditation, lots of contemplation. Look at the gorgeous flowers sat on top of the crown chakra here. It's a real time of opening the crown chakra, opening up to your higher levels of wisdom, angelic wisdom coming through here. I focus my thoughts on abundance and gratitude, and my body knows how to self-heal. So yes, this could literally be a very important healing time for you, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically speaking, which is going to have a big impact on your life moving forwards. And you've got the gorgeous bird's foot trefoil, which comes in with the 6 of wands as well. 6 of wands energy, 6 of clubs, which is victory after a long battle. So this could signify the end of a period of dis-ease or unwellness, or a shift or change in your health. Could be physical or not, but it's a very, very spiritual time regardless. Very, very spiritual. A lot of information coming down. Look at that triangle pointing down into the crown chakra, and the energy coming right down here from the higher chakras, from the soul star chakra, from heaven, from your angels here. And I just had to pause to sneeze then. Pause the video to sneeze so that I want to say for pile 1, big clearings happening. So it could be that you actually have a period of being unwell, which is actually an energetic clearing, but you might be aware that it is. So big clearings happening for you. You could be sneezing a lot. That's possible. And with the lovely golden yellow of the bird's foot trefoil, which is essentially a weed. You might see it in your garden. It's a very, very tiny, very pretty little flower. I think it grows here in my garden. It is a weed. But we've got the gorgeous yellow of the solar plexus chakra. So it feels like it's a time of rebuilding yourself physically, feeling better within your body if you haven't been feeling too great, and also really leaning into your spirituality, the things that you already know how to do. Maybe you're already trained as a healer. Maybe you already have lots of knowledge. You're a meditation teacher, but you're not doing it for yourself. Okay, so I want to say healer, heal thyself. All right. Turn those abilities inwards. Focus on you. Put the limelight on you. Okay, so that's our pile 1. Next, we're going to look at pile 2, and I'm going to have a sip of tea. Interestingly, exactly 43 minutes on the clock as I paused to have a sip of tea for pile 2, which is interesting because the numerology we had surrounding this time is 34, and 43 would be its mirror number, which is significant because you had 43-7, which is a number for you here. So our totem, we have a weasel. Pop goes the weasel. Don't sing, Helen. Right. I'm going to sing half a pound of tuppenny rice now, which I'm definitely not going to do. Okay, let's check for nudity. No nudity. We're good. Okay, so 7 of hearts, 7 of cups, which can be about confusion, choices, decisions. 22. Oh, this is all about the feels. And look, 43. You couldn't make this up. I swear. I swear you couldn't make this up. I love the synchronicity. Oh, God, I love that. Okay, we did say it was a time of synchronicity. God incidences. I love that. Okay, Helen, get over yourself. Carry on with the reading. Right. 22, the feet of the goddess. Love that energy. Okay, 22-4, very beautiful energy that says, I feel safe and grounded. Look at this beautiful scene. Is that a flower she's holding, or is that a butterfly? This is really small and I do not have the right glasses to be able to work that out. But if you can see, then please tell me what that is that she's holding. And this gentle deer, very gentle pink, soft pinks and greens. So it is about heart healing here. It's about connecting with the divine feminine energy, regardless of whether you're male or female. It feels like it's healing the divine feminine aspect of you. And so it could be more about getting in touch with your emotions, particularly if you're a man. That's not something you normally do. Maybe healing from hurt, making a decision perhaps in relationships. Maybe there's a choice to be made. Okay, maybe it's time to move on from something, or time to choose between two people, or make some choices about your future and what you actually want. And the second card, which is 43, which seems like a very important number for you, it says, through faith and hope, I am divinely guided on my path. So it feels like Spirit really trying to nudge you towards your spiritual path at the moment. And notice both cards have this little deer on them. Now, isn't that interesting? Okay, so they're mirroring each other. You see, it's basically the same image that I think someone's flipped around and put smaller on that card. It's the same deer, but mirroring. So we had the energy of 43-34, or rather 34-43, the two numbers mirroring each other. So there's a mirroring energy. So you could be mirroring a soulmate, you could be mirroring someone in a relationship, or you could be mirroring the person that you want to be with right now. Maybe that's not the person you're with. Okay, but I feel if there's a soulmate, twin flame, strong soulmate connection in your life right now, you could be mirroring them. It could be causing you a lot of emotional upset, a lot of upheaval, a lot to think and feel about, and it could be causing you to make some decisions. And that's not necessarily in romance. It could be in another aspect of your life, which is very emotional as well. It could be in family, in friendships, or even at work. Pile 3. Let's pop these up. Wait. There we go. So we've got more room to bring pile 3 in. Okay, your totem is the Dartmoor pony. Oh, you're so lucky you got a Dartmoor pony. I saw my first, I mean, how many times have I driven through Dartmoor now? 10. First time I saw a Dartmoor pony. And it was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. All on his own, or probably her own. It's probably a female. Probably a mare. And she was beautiful. She was like palomino coloured. She's gorgeous, kind of sandy colour. She's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous pony. Now let's check our cards. No nudity, we're good. So, Ace of Hearts, Ace of Cups, the new beginning, my cup runneth over. The new beginning coming from the heart. Wow. And the beautiful horse as well, the loyal companion. Could be about a new relationship beginning, a new relationship in friendship, and a new beginning in family and work. But it's very emotional. It comes from the heart. It's the beautiful heart-led energy that's coming to the fore here. Your numbers, we have 36, 36, 9, 369, beautiful manifesting number. Through meditation, I see clearly beyond the veils of illusion. So there could be a lot of messages coming through to you through meditation and dreams at this time. We've got this gorgeous full moon here. So do pay attention to the full moons that we have during this time. And any eclipses, because I think we've got a bunch of eclipses happening. I just honestly can't keep up with all of this. And then we have a number 7 card, which is interesting because 7 is the energy coming through very strongly. It's coming through in repeated places in this reading. Number of the mystic. Movement helps my energy and emotions to flow. So maybe there's some yoga flow is words that come to me as well. That's a different kind of yoga practice, isn't it? Yoga flow, where you do movements in sequence. I think there are specific teachers who do that. Yoga, I'm drawn to posture, I'm drawn to Pilates, maybe chiropractic if you need it, you know, if there's something you should be doing for your back to helping your body to move. Dance, I want to say religious dance. I don't know why those words have been put together, but they have. Yes, very, very important for you to flow energetically at this time, and movement is a big part of that. Gorgeous peacock here as well, bringing in the energy of Hera, the wife of Zeus, goddess Hera, the mother goddess. Very wise, great wisdom coming through here. There's a lot of women going to be drawn to this pile, I think. Very, very beautiful goddess energy coming through, but divine goddess, higher levels of love, intuition. Higher levels of love, intuition. Huh. Shake your tail feather. That's a song, isn't it? So literally, maybe that's what you'll be dancing to. I don't know. But gorgeous. But look at the orb on top here. That orb kind of reminds me of this. It's like someone put that on top of this doorway, pillar. Who knows what that is? It's fantastic. Whatever it is, it's a new dawn coming in, a new energetic. That's like a lotus. Wow. Powerful time of manifesting as well with the 36, 369. 3 and 6 add up to 9. So powerful time of new beginnings, being able to manifest the things that you want, understanding new beginnings, understanding things through your dreams, through your meditations, and also a nudge here to get your body moving, to get the energy moving through your body, which will enhance your manifesting, which will enhance your spiritual work. So maybe it's time to bring movement into your spiritual work, however that may look for you. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Sending you all so much love. This reading went on way more than I was expecting it to. Way, way longer. I have to go and get ready for my ballet class now because I do ballet now. Class number 4. Here we go. You have a wonderful week, day, evening, night, month. Oh, wonderful time of the mini moon with us, regardless of when you're watching this. I'm sending you so much love. Please take very, very good care of yourselves. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.